Yugioh. Now, as you know, I've been a busy man. I've been building a bunch of decks. I apologize for not getting out the videos. It's just so busy these days. But I really want to get out this video because of the the game I just had. It was a lot of fun for me. Um, and I just want to show you how this deck looks like. So I labeled these as budget videos. Obviously, Elemental Heroes in Master Duel is not quote unquote budget. Um, it's expensive. Like there's no way around it. But if you're into this deck as much as I am, like over time you could put together a list like this. I mean, for just to be clear, this is not my most ideal list. I'm still like working out the exact ratios. I've been watching a couple of other, Elemental Hero Neos players. This is kind of like what I'm going for. Ideally, like with the ratios, I think should change a little bit. Some of these cards, I'm not too, sold on yet. I'm still kind of testing the build, but in terms of like the extra deck and like the monsters, I'm pretty set on. But it's just like the spells ratio I would change. Okay. Alright, so what is Elemental Hero Neos? Alright, so the deck basically revolves around this normal Elemental Hero Neos level 7 monster, and also the Neospatian monsters, which is Aqua Dolphin, Grand Mole, Dark Panther. There are a few others. These are just the ones that I'm playing. As I said, you could tweak this how you like. This is just kind of like what I settled on. But I don't think this is the most ideal build. This kind of works for me right now. And you could play test it as well to see what you like. But basically, the goal is going second OTK. So there is a way to lock out the opponent from using card effects on the first turn through where is it? Cosmo Neos. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot activate cards. Also, your opponent cannot activate their effects. So you could really like lock out your opponent from playing with this card. I included it. This is not really what I go for. I haven't really tested this strategy too much. There are other players that do that, so you could probably watch their videos on that. I do have to test this card more, but I generally just go for the going second OTK. I include droplets. I have my singular kaiju. I have my 2 ash blossoms to slow them down. These ratios, like I said, could probably change. But with all the spell cards that I have, let me just preface this to you guys by saying, Labyrinth is very heavy in the meta right now. So you will get screwed over by the epidemic virus. They will call spell cards on you. So prepare for that. It's gonna be rough. But if you run Elemental Hero Honest Neos, you could at least have a fighting chance. If you can get this to your hand via the search of like Stratos or what's the other one? Shadow Mist. So there are other ways around, just sticking to your spell cards. But I'm kind of digressing. So the point is to use your spell cards to knock out, any Ash Blossoms or any gates, and then get into your game plan of getting. Ideally, you want Neos in your graveyard. And these Neospatians either in your hand or special summoned onto the field. and then just go through your fusion spell cards. Go through. I'll show you the replay. I'm not the best with this deck by far. I'm still kind of learning this deck. But basically, you put up a bunch of big elemental hero monsters. Like look at the attack on these guys. Like just from here, 2100, 2400. Like they're all like big beefy beat sticks. So this is the best one. This is the one that wins you games. Like especially since this came out, this deck has become more viable. Wake up your elemental hero. Because say like they disrupt you in the middle of your combo, you can still go into this if you have like, say like Miracle Fusion in your hand, which I just did in my gameplay, so I will show that to you. And then you can go into Wake Up Your Elemental Hero and just OTK the opponent. So that's like the general strategy. You know, there's alternate strategies in here that, you know, like Arm Neos. You generally go into this turn 1, so you can go into your Cosmo Neos, because this has the effect of, during the main phase, quick effect, you contribute this and special summon an elemental hero fusion, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is really, really strong. So this is like the turn 1 strategy. You go into Arm Neos, and then you go into Cosmo Neos. How do you search for the Armed Dragon? I honestly couldn't tell you. But that is the turn 1 strategy, which I don't play. But turn 2, I can give you an example of what to do. Let's go through the cards. I've been rambling on for long enough. So like I said, the normal Elemental Hero Neos. This is important for the deck. I'll explain why when we get to the spell cards. Crosskeeper, this is the best, Ash Blossom Eater or whatever you want to call it. This eats up negates and it does its job. So basically, you can send this card from the hand. The field doesn't really come up from the hand to the graveyard. So as long as you get this in the graveyard, then you kind of did its job. If they let it go off, then you get to special summon an Elemental Hero or a Neospatian from your hand or the grave. So basically, you want to use this once you've like searched for like your Stratos or one of your Neospatian monsters through E-Call. Ideally, you would run E-Call at 3. You know, I know I have some crafting materials here, but you know, I'm just trying to test out the ratios and everything. Ideally run 3 of these, and what to cut is really difficult to decide. I believe it would be Miracle Contact, honestly, because this card doesn't really come up. This should probably be cut for another E-Call and a Neos Fusion, which I don't even have. Let me show you what that card is. This is the card that I'm missing. Where is it? Here. Special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists exactly 2 monsters as material, including elemental heroes, by sending those from your hand, deck, or field, ignoring its summoning conditions. Awesome card. I was not able to pull this from the pack. Like I said, this deck is not cheap. Even though I'm gonna call it a budget deck because, you know, I'm free to play building this. But that is the card you should probably substitute for Miracle Contact. This card rarely comes up, Miracle Contact. Alright, I was getting sidetracked. But basically, this is a really strong card because it doesn't use up your normal summon. This is just a way to eat up negates, you know, not use up your normal. It's just a way to extend. But you should start with this. But like I said, you would need the Elemental Hero or Neospatian in your hand for this to work. It says in graveyard, so you know, I don't know how you would, unless like you have Foolish Burial or something. But you know, if this is your first starting play, the other monsters will be in your hand. All right, let's just keep going. So, Neospatial Aqua Dolphin. This is cool because you can discard a card, look at your opponent's hand, so you get hand knowledge, and then choose a monster. If this has higher attack than the monster that they have in their hand, say like a hand trap or something, then you could make them discard it. So, you know, if you can't destroy any of their monsters, you take 500 damage. But you also get hand knowledge, so it's pretty nice. So you can play around, for example, Nibiru, or if they have some other kind of going second card, you can plan around that. So it's nice. Going first. So that's cool. Grand Mole and Dark Panther are your going second cards. Basically, if this is on the field, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you return both to the hand. So that's nice. So if you're scared of one of their extra deck monsters, or if they have like a strong negate, you could, you know, go into battle directly, for example, and scare them into, you know, wiping out your Grand Mole. So this little guy could scare off, you know, a bunch of extra deck monsters. Dark Panther is also cool because it says once per turn you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls. This card name becomes that monster. So you could take the effect of any of your opponent's monsters with this. So they would also have to negate this if they had to. So it's another way to make them use up their negates, which is cool. Vision Hero Increase is part of the standard like hero combo. Like I said, I'm not an expert on it, but I kind of know how to do it. I'll try and show it to you. 2 Ash Blossom hand traps, standard. You could run 3 if you want. Destiny Hero Denier. This is what I run with Fusion Destiny because it has a good graveyard effect. Stratos. I guess you could run 2 of these. Like, you know, normal hero decks run, I believe, 2 or 3 of these. So this is a great deck card. This is what you normally start with via a hero lives. So this is like the starter card. So running 2 would be helpful, beneficial, if you have the points for it or if you manage to pull it. Vion is also essential to like the main hero combo. Shadow Mist is also essential because you usually send this to the graveyard, but if this is special summoned, you can add Mass Change to your hand. So that comes up. Blaze Man gets you polymerization. So this comes up. You know, this is not always the way you get polymerization, but it's a way you can get it. Neospace Connector. You probably want more of these because this is your other normal summon. So you normal summon this, then you can special summon one of these Neospatial monsters. So ideally you would want more of these. Like I said, we're already at 50 cards. The only cards I would really cut would be these Miracle Contacts. I don't know any of these others I would really cut. Like I said, this requires a little more testing. But yeah, 2 of these would be good, ideally. Liquid Soldier comes up. It's like a good extender. But it's mostly here for Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. This is a good like protection for your board. But I don't know if you really need it. It's just if you like Absolute Zero. Then moving on, we have Vision Hero Ferris, which is part of the standard combo line. Malicious, which is like an extender. And I believe part of the original line. I haven't tested too much with Malicious. I'm still kind of learning the basic hero combo, I just stick to like the Neospacians. But I could show you what I think you could do with this. Okay, so basically, if you could send a Malicious to the graveyard, you could banish it and special summon the other one from the deck. So it's just like an extent. Like if you're able to dump this through what card dumps to the graveyard? Through like Crosskeeper or sorry, this doesn't dump. Well, when I go through the combo, I'll show it to you. Arm Dragon for Arm Neos, which I still do not understand how you search for this, but we'll get there. We'll get there, guys. Honest Neos, this I pulled. I don't think you need it, but it is nice. You know, like for example, like I said, the Labyrinth matchup when they Epidemic Virus spell cards you and you have no spell cards, you could still run over their monsters with Honest Neos. So it helps. You know, it's not like, I don't know if it's gonna win you the game, but it's nice. Spirit Neos, this is like key to your combos because you could add Polymerization or another Elemental Hero spell to your hand. So ideally 2 of these. Kaijus, this is just how I build decks. I mean, you can take this out. Harpies, also how I build decks. You need at least 1 Polymerization. 1 reinforcement of the army to search out your Stratos or anything really. They're all warriors. Miracle Fusion is with the Sunrise. I got this royal rare from the you know, the free pulls, the free royals earlier in the year. So that's why I built this deck basically. Like I said, 3 of these e-calls is ideal. I pulled 3 hero lives. Like, you know, how are you gonna get 3 of these through the pulls? But you know, I also don't have Neos Fusion, so you know, I think you could live with 2 of these, but ideally 3. Miracle Contact. Like, so this says shuffle into the deck from your hand, field, or grave the fusion materials that are listed on an Elemental Hero fusion monster that lists Elemental Hero Neos as fusion material, ignoring its summoning conditions. So an Elemental Hero fusion that lists Elemental Hero Neos. So let's see which monsters that is. Not this, not this. So you could do Dark Neos, Aqua Neos, Grand Neos. Oh, you could do Wingman. You could do Nebula Neos, but you would need all of those cards somewhere. Not that. Okay, so that's another way you could get into Armed Dragon, I suppose. It's another way. Okay, I guess it's not as bad as I thought. But 2 of them, like I said, I'd rather have a Neos fusion. So I'm just gonna dismantle one of these right now because I can see the use of like one of them. And this is also searchable via Spirit of Neos. So, you know, I'll probably bump, you know, I'll work it out later, but I'll probably bump up Spirit of Neos to 2. And, you know, I'll leave this at 1. But I definitely want to pull Neos Fusion. I may craft it down the line, but, you know, my mats are so low. I'm still thinking about it, but I definitely want a Neos Fusion card in this deck. In this deck build. So Fusion Destiny for DPE, of course. You know, it comes up, but you don't have to include it. Fusion Deployment is awesome. So you could special summon one of the fusion materials, and usually you want to go for Elemental Hero Neos, right? Because that gets a bunch of your cards going. Ian Shuffle, Miracle Contact, Engage Neo Space. No, not this one. Instant Contact. It really gets your Instant Contact going. So this is a great card. You could probably run at 3, but like you see me at 49 cards already. So still testing. Ian Engage Neospace. This doesn't come up too much. So it says send 1 Neospatian monster and 1 elemental from your hand and 1 from your deck to the grave. Special summon a Neospatian or level 5 or higher elemental hero from your deck, and if you do, add 1 polymerization from your deck or your graveyard to your hand. And if you special summon Neos, it gains 1000 attack. Interesting. So this is a way to get your play started as well. You just need 1 of those in your hand. So you could probably run 2 of these. Instant Contact, I should probably run another 1 of these. Because as long as you have Neos on the field or in the graveyard, this becomes live. So basically you get a free level 7 or lower. So that includes Sunrise, Grand Neos, Aqua Neos, Dark Neos, and Flaming Man, because they're all elemental heroes. So it's nice. So yeah, I'd just take care of this right now. Actually, in a bit, because I gotta save up gems. Okay, so I'll give you that strategy as well once we get there. Ian Shuffle is nice because you shuffle an elemental hero or a Neospatian you control, so it has to be on the field. And if you do special summon an elemental hero or Neospatian with a different name, you can banish this card, shuffle from your graveyard either an elemental hero, or Neospatian or Neos, then draw a card. So nice card. I don't know if you want multiple of these. I'm running multiple because I pulled them, but this is debatable. Mass Change for Dark Law, this definitely comes up. Call by the Grave for Ash Blossom and Maxi. Forbidden Droplet to break the boards. Favorite Contact is so nice. Special summon a fusion monster from your extra deck that mentions hero monster as material, ignoring its summoning conditions. From among cards in your hand, field, or in your banished zone. And then if you placed Neos into the deck, neither player. So these cards like return. So these cards are strong, but they have the effect where during the end phase, shuffle this card into the extra deck. And they're saying that this will bypass it if you put Neos back into the deck. So that's nice. Protection of the Elements is kind of like a counter trap. Definitely nice to have. And Spirit of Neos, I believe, can search this. Yes, Spirit of Neos can search this. As for the extra deck, got Flaming Man to get your Shining Neos going. Dark Law, it's just nice because it's kind of like a floodgate. Dark Neos, Aqua Neos, Grand Neos, these are the Neospatian fusions that I run. Sunrise gets you Miracle Fusion. This we spoke about, clears the board. This, you can run it if you want for the destruction. Shining Neos is cool because if this card is special, you can destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of different attributes among monsters on the field. So that's nice. Nebula Neos is cool. It has synergy with the Neospatians that I'm running. This says if this card is special, draw cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. then negate one card, and then shuffle this into the extra deck, and if you do, banish all cards on the field face down. So it's strong, but it also can mess you up as well. So be careful using that card. Wake Up Elemental Hero is the best card in this extra deck because basically it allows you to OTK. As long as you went through all of the opponent's disruptions and they have a bunch of monsters on field, you should attack over all of them using like everything you have. So super strong. Arm Neos we spoke about. This gets you into Cosmo Neos, which locks out your opponent from doing anything on their turn. And then these two are the links that I'm running. Like I said, I'm not the best at this deck yet, but this is Elemental Hero Neos. I do have a replay, but I am running out of time right now, so I will record that separately and try to merge the videos together. But I will get you the gameplay. I will see you in the gameplay version. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Onto the replay. So we're playing against Branded Fusion. Oh jeez. Branded Despia. They're playing some of the new cards. I still haven't play tested all the new cards. But they go into Rebellion. They have Albaz in the Grave. Then they go into Mirror Jade. And then they're using Fusion Deployment to bring out Blazing Cartesian. So, well, let's just see my starting hand, right? So, Crosskeeper, which is always nice to see. Stratos, always nice to see in the opening hand. Blazeman, you know, not really essential. E-Call, Instant Contact, and Ian Shuffle. So, you know, he only has one disruption. Technically two with Blazing Cartesia, but this is a quick effect as well. And he has Albaz in the Grave, which I didn't realize he could bring back. You know, I'll show you in the gameplay. Basically, he technically had 3 disruptions, but he's a little slow to use them. So, yeah, let's see what Elemental Neos is capable of, right? So first off, start with the E-Call, bring out my boy Elemental Hero Neos. Then we go Crosskeeper. So I feel like I misplayed here. I should have dumped the Neos so I can make my Instant Contact live. But you know, it still works out. I'm saying, oh jeez, I'm not explaining this right. The dump off of the Vision Hero Ferris should have been Elemental Hero Neos. So, you know, with the E-Call, I bring in Elemental Hero Neos, then Stratos. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't interact with me at all. So I bring in the Vision Hero Ferris. This is like the standard hero line. So here I dumped the Blazeman. So what I feel like I should have dumped was the Neos, but you know, it's all good. So Vision Hero brings in Increase, that's standard. Then I tribute off Ferris by Increase, bring that in. And then I special summon Vion. This is all pretty standard. Then I send Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist will let me search for another hero. I search for Liquid because he can special summon a hero from the grave. But I did that because I thought he would interrupt me at some point, but he didn't. So I just kept going with the combo. So either, you know, you could go Infernal Devicer, which says you can reveal a hero fusion, and if you do, add up to 2 of the materials. I kind of misplayed here too, because I go into Infernal, but I should have showed. Actually, no, I didn't misplay. So here's something I just realized, right? Fusion deployment can help you get Armed Dragon, and also I have to check if Infernal Divisor can get you access to Armed Dragon as well. I'm gonna have to test that out for you guys. But moving on. That 0.001% is hysterical. Okay. So I show Grand Neos. I bring out the mole. Well, I add it to the hand. Then I banish Vision Hero so I can get polymerization. So now I'm cooking. Look at the options I got. I have polymerization. If I use, so my plan is to use poly on these two, get Neos into the grave so I can instant contact. That's pretty much what I do. I go into Sunrise. So I want him to use his interaction. You know, I want him to use it so I could continue with my OTK line, right? But you know, he still hasn't done anything yet. Oh, and the cool thing about Crosskeeper, like I said, you could banish it if you have a fusion monster. Jeez, an elemental hero fusion monster on the field to draw 2 and put 1 back. So I'm able to draw into a Droplet and Aqua Dolphin. So I gotta keep the Droplets, right? So I send Aqua Dolphin back. I get the Miracle Fusion off the Sunrise, and now like this guy is done. This guy is done. So I instant contact. He has no response. So I want to Droplet into the Mirror Jade and Cartesia. Because Rebellion doesn't have a quick effect. Right? Bring out my Grand Mole. So he's able to still send for cost. So Rinbrum has an effect in the grave. So he's able to use Alabaz's effect because when this is special, you can fusion using it in the field. So he goes into Dragon's Tequilia, and I want him to use up his negates. You know, like I want to, and I'm running low on time here. And I thought he would negate my Liquid Soldier, but he negates the Grand Mole. So I got, in the end, I still got him, right? So my Miracle Fusion, using 5 monsters into Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, and that's game. There's nothing he can do. He used up all his interaction. Boom. That's how Elemental Hero Neos gets it done. I love this deck. I want to keep working on it. So that's what I'll be doing in ranked these days. I'll just be playing with my Elemental Heroes Neos deck. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be providing more deck profiles, more budget deck profiles in the future. It's just, you know, hard to get gameplay sometimes, but I will do that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one.